welcome back again to Two and a Half Trucks. I'm one of your hosts, Ty Happy.
I'm JTizzle12.
And I'm Mr. Slowly, Ryan.
Oh my days, it's been a little while. It's been a while, like usual, but we've been busy boys collectively, I think here. So it's
Yes,
it's whatever.
it,
Busy
it's
little
it's
tank
been
engines on that branch line.
Yeah,
it's
I'm sure.
been it's been too long. Okay, but do you know what else I have to complain about?
Oh boy, it's the
What?
patented segment.
Okay, so I went to New York City,
hmm
Oh,
you
yeah?
know,
The Big Apple.
and I'm walking down the street, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and just like something I've noticed about New York is like the sewers, because I'm from like the South, so this doesn't happen. But literally, they just like shit comes out of them. Like it
Yeah,
just like they burn shit and dispose it into the air,
Yeah.
that's disgusting.
and it makes everything smell like piss.
Lol.
Sounds like
And
my kind of
it doesn't
town.
help with the people that just piss on the street anyway.
You should have
Mm.
joined them, man. That's a culture thing.
Yeah, it probably actually is.
Culture owed the city.
That's just a free drink.
Okay, all right, all right. Starting off strong, wonderful. Oh my god.
Oh, great start, guys.
Great start. Before we get into our main thing for the episode here, do we want to talk about projects? What projects do we got going on here? Do we
Mm.
got any?
Well, I have a script, but I needed to order something from Rails Sheffield, but they just were like, no, and they canceled my order
What?
for
What?
no reason.
That's
What was it? What were you gonna get? Or is that a spoiler?
It's a spoiler, and
Oh,
I really,
hell.
I really don't want to say.
wait. Can you tell us in the chat?
Give us a hint. Give
Yeah,
us a little...
or a little hinty poo. Yeah.
Oh, I know what video that is. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. But honestly, JT, when that project does come out, it's gonna be epic. I'm in the late stages of like the big project I've been yapping y'all's ears off about for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly done with it.
Very
Uh, there's
excited about it.
there's two segments I need to do. I have a thumbnail getting cooked up right now. It's gonna be
Oh, cool.
very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, listen. Mail Train James is coming. I swear.
Yay!
I
Wait,
swear.
is that the first official talk about it? I think it might be.
No, we've talked about it before. I think
We've
last
talked about
time
it
we
on this
talked about it a little bit.
podcast.
We
Um,
probably have. It's been a while.
Listen, realistically, I've got to do like 4 more shots and just edit the fuck out of it, and then it's done. I
Yeah, 'cause, like
swear, I swear. I uploaded the video like yesterday. Come on,
you
I'm
did
doing all right.
you're the most recent uploader in this
Yeah,
thread
but
here.
it was a layout tour. The layout was awesome though.
No, it is a cool layout. It is very
Yippee!
cool.
You had
Yeah,
a lot
man,
of express
that
coaches.
was
It's beautiful.
that was every single destination that I own. Like by the end of that, my destination box was completely empty. There was actually nothing in it. I was like, oh my god, that's crazy.
That rocks. Oh man. Speaking of rocks, Tom's the Tank Engine rocks sometimes.
Debatably.
Debatably,
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying sometimes. And back in the olden days, I don't know if they do this anymore. I don't keep up with the show. Uh, but every year there was a little special that came out. Everybody was like super excited for it, and that's what we're gonna be
Yippee!
ranking today. Here we go.
Okay.
So JT, you got the tier list up here.
Okay. I'll explain how I feel about a lot of these little tabs. Okay. So I'm actually gonna rank the tab names that we have. So for best, that's probably the best. So I'd put that at the top, and then great and good and average. They're just kind of like okay, and then low key ass is like you know
I mean, it's in the name,
yeah, it's in the name, and then poop from my butt is dog shit. So that's
just generally, which I fear a lot of these might be going in those bottom three categories.
unfortunately, but there's some good ones.
No, there are some heaters. I must admit.
So starting with calling all engines. How are we feeling?
This is
Are
hilarious.
we starting with calling all engines, or are we not?
If we're going in wait, do we want to do chronological or do we want to do in order like the tier
We
list?
could just do the order of the tier list.
Okay, then
Okay, yeah, we'll just
that gives a last good discussion then, from what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But okay,
yeah,
calling
okay.
all engines.
Um,
I
I don't know,
Okay,
man.
I would put it
I
in low key ass.
I can't. I struggle to remember what happens in this movie a lot of the
Yeah,
time.
I
It's like,
I
see,
yeah.
realistically, there was this one time that I took the entire movie into my video editor and I cut out all of the learning segments and songs, and it was 40 minutes long. That's how much
Oh my
content is actually
god.
there. So, yeah, I don't
Oh
know.
Yeah.
This one's a bit of a
dogs.
small fest. It's actually not a terrible story. It just it just suffers from the hit erroredness.
Yeah, and especially like early hit awareness where like there's like 2% of potential and they just don't use it, you know?
Mm.
And my biggest problem with this like movie is it looks like it was shot on like an iPhone. Like if you go back and look at because it was I think it was one of the first Thomas things that was not shot on film.
Yeah, it was like this not including season 8. Well, no, it was like seasons 8 and 9 in this. Those were the first like digital
Mm.
shoots.
So it does
I thought
not
it was
look the
season
best.
7. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
I
no,
don't know.
season 7 was the last with film. And
Mm.
Jack back.
Yeah.
That's why Jack in the Pack looks so awesome.
It's
And
true.
all the props are so cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
dude, I mean, it's probably it's a popular take at this point, but there are some cool bits like the whole crashing the engines segment or whatever that was kind of sick. The storm segment kind of rocks. Let's be so honest here.
Oh
It
yeah, the
just every
suspension bridge in
time
general is it's just crazy cool.
It's a good set piece.
well, my favorite part of the movie is when they need building supplies and Diesel takes the bananas to
And
Michelle.
bananas do not make good building supplies, or whatever he fucking says. I don't remember.
So I actually that's my favorite part of the movie.
See, I don't think I've watched this in full for like, oh boy, like 15 years. I'll be so honest. It's
I
been so
watched it in
long.
full 2 years ago, and it just wasn't. It wasn't great. It was not a
Yeah.
great experience.
We probably should specify that like I'm gonna make a sweeping statement here. Well, at least for me, never mind, I lied. For me, I haven't seen any of these in full besides 2 of them in like, in longer than 2 years. But there's been 2 movies in this that I've seen kind of recently.
There's been three that I've seen. Like I've got like kind of fresh in
There's
my mind.
Mhm.
there's one that is the most recent that I've watched, and it's probably like the funniest one to have most recently watched.
I guess we'll reveal that when it gets to it
Ooh,
then.
a cool
Yeah, we'll
thing
get to it.
about Calling All Engines is that they bring Diesel 10 and Lady back
That is true.
for the first special. And
The
they
first
put
and
like
only
Diesel
time.
10 all over the box. I think in the review on Lucky Tug did he kind of like dove into that.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
like Diesel 10 is a major
Diesel 10's
marketing guy.
he's a cool character that they kind of tried to work into the show a couple times, but they never really stuck with it, which was unfortunate because Diesel 10's very cool. They didn't really know what to do with Lady though. They just threw her into a dream sequence, I guess.
Which that's let's be so honest, and this is stealing an unlucky tug take, but it's objectively correct. It's really the only way that you can deal with that, I think. Let's be so
Mm-hmm.
real.
It's like, what is Lady?
Yeah,
She's
Yeah,
not based on
yeah.
any like real engine. She's not like I could never imagine her pulling any more than like the one truck she pulls in Magic Railroad.
yeah.
But she doesn't even pull a truck in Magic Railroad,
She
right?
she does in this and Calling All Engines though, I think.
Yeah.
The
It's
Tommy Pink trucks, all I'm
yes, it
saying.
is those pink trucks.
Ooh,
I mean, yeah, no, it's
those Tommy purple trucks are fire. I love them.
those do rip. But yeah, that's legitimately the only like thing you could do with Lady in like any realistic sense.
All right, big world, big adventures.
This one is
Uh,
fucking. This one is poop from my butt.
I'll be so honest. I've seen this once, and it was the cam rip that came out when it first released, and I was like half paying
Okay,
attention to
listen.
it.
I think
Okay,
I would put
listen.
it in low key ass.
Listen. This is for real. There's only a couple movies that I've seen on this planet that actually like enraged me to the point where like the whole movie, the entire experience felt like a absolute fucking like disappointment and a slap in the face. One of them was the Emoji Movie. One of them was Rise of Skywalker, and one of them was Big World, Big Adventures. What an absolute fucking shit show! It's like actually the worst. I think it's objectively the worst movie, and not from. And I'm not just saying this because oh it ruined the brand or something. I think it's written bad. I think the movie just sucks.
Wow.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. I haven't actually watched it in a while, to be fair, but I have watched it at least twice, and both times I hated it. I was disgusted. Awful. Stupid, dumb, idiot, bad movie.
I just
I'll,
realized, like, I have all of these on DVD, but like the best one.
oh, that's funny.
I
I
have
have
Big
all
World,
of
Big
them. I
Adventures.
have all of them up to JBS, and then I kind of skipped to Royal Engine, which isn't on here. Are we not going to rank that? I guess
Uh,
because it's a big world one.
I
I
mean,
guess not.
we could, I guess, but that also means we got to rank the other
Did
like.
Royal Engine
See,
come out on DVD?
I don't think it did for class.
But it was with a bunch of episodes. Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't want to rank the rest of the big world ones. I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the can.
I do
I'd put
like Royal
I'd
Engine
put
though. I think
Royal Engine in like good or average.
I
yeah,
say
Royal
average.
Engines.
Fine.
We'll give Royal Engine an honorable mention. It's
So
probably in good or
with
average.
Big
It's all
World,
right.
are we going poop from my butt?
Yeah, because like
Hmm.
honestly, I have no strong opinions on it because I don't think I've really seen it enough to have an opinion.
I don't know, I just thought it was what it was. I wasn't like Ryan where I was so like mad, but at the same time like I wasn't happy after
Yeah,
Movie
watching it, and it
movie
put me in a good
rated me.
mood.
It even ends on like an unsatisfying cliffhanger that they never follow up. Like just like a perfect good movie. I mean
Oh
bad
yeah.
yeah,
movie.
that's great.
I mean,
Every bad movie,
Ace just
every
comes back
single
later.
bad movie on the planet ends on like a terrible cliffhanger like that.
Yeah,
Wait, what is the cliffhanger? I don't remember it.
It's when the movie at the very end, it's like, "Come on, guys, there's a new adventure." Like they're setting up for a sequel, and then it doesn't. It doesn't happen.
Nice.
Thomas just
Like the
fucking
end of
up
Back to
again.
the Future. That's a cliffhanger.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a good cliffhanger
Yeah,
because it actually gets resolved.
yeah, of course. Unlike the Big World, Big Adventures one.
I mean, they're pretty comparable. Big Worlds
Well,
and
if that
Big
controller's like
Adventures.
dying of seasickness, and he finds fucking Lightning McQueen on a boat, and then the movie ends. Like, great,
I
cool.
Ace is I like Ace. I think he's a kind of neat guy.
I really don't like his song.
No, he's a
Some,
prick. I fucking hate him. He shows up in the first scene. He shows up and immediately breaks the fourth wall, which is something he doesn't do for the rest of the movie. He does it that one time. He turns to the camera and goes "G'day," and then that's it. And he never does that again. And then and immediately nearly kills the Flying Scotsman
that's hilarious. That's really funny. I don't care. That's
and
awesome.
Sydney too. I like Sydney. Fuck that guy. Ace is a prick.
I like him because he's a dickhead. That's funny.
I don't. I don't.
We don't
He's
get
not. I
many
don't
like
find him. I don't find him a likable character. Like in the
yeah
slightest. He's just a dick, and that he doesn't. Literally the fucking plot is that Thomas has to learn to just ditch Ace.
yeah that rocks, bro. You need to like kids need to learn that shit, bro.
I guess, but like I don't know, man. Probably better way you could have done that.
Probably, but I mean, listen, if I'm searching for positives here, Ace is one of them in this movie for me, at least. Yeah,
Oh.
the animation in this is kind of dog
Mm,
shit too.
mm.
So wait, are we still on Big World?
Yeah, we are. But
Okay.
I think that's really all the conversation we can wring from this.
I like the elephant.
Well, that wasn't
Just
from
I
the.
like the
That's
I
not.
like
That's not
the
from the movie.
elephant. The
in
elephant poop butt
the
scene. That's
poster.
funny.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's
All
not from
right,
the movie. That's from one of the seasons.
King of the Railway.
I think it's fine. It's
So
average.
so I
It's
heard I sorry to interrupt you.
okay.
Um but I heard one time a criticism of this movie, and the criticism was this feels like four episodes that have just been mashed together.
I
And
agree.
I can't I always whenever I watch the movie, it always just feels like that. It feels like just a couple episodes that are together. It doesn't really feel particularly
Cohesive.
special or grand, and I kind of feel like that's almost because of the animation being very poor, because it was Ark's first time. But I don't know. It's not a bad movie. I like Steven and I like the castle. Like it's not bad in the
I think
slightest. It's just kind of an underwhelming movie.
the early like an arc animation, or no, this was still a Nitrogen.
No, this is Arc's first.
So it
This
was
this
early.
was
It was early arc.
yeah
It
this
it
yeah
is not held up the best
no.
in recent years. It does not look great. And also, why is Jack's face square? We
I
never
don't know.
addressed that.
I never did. I mean, also like see that's something I can like look over. You know, like, it's strangely enough, it's one of the most drastic returnee redesigns that like doesn't really deter anything from the character. You know,
Yeah. I don't hate
I
the
don't mind him
redesign, but
much.
yes, it is weird that they did that.
Yeah, I mean, but that was hype as hell when we saw him for the first time.
Yeah. I
Let's be so
remember
honest here.
I remember as a kid when I saw this movie in the theaters because a couple of these Thomas movies I saw in the theaters as a kid. Um, I remember the scene where they saw Jack for the first time, and I was like, I wasn't really hyped. I was just kind of like, oh, it's they brought Jack back. All right. I was like, okay, I guess. I was kind of confused then because I wanted to see Alfie because I liked Alfie. I always liked his take along toy. It was cool. But Alfie didn't show up till like what? Lost Treasure? I don't know.
Yeah,
Can't remember.
yeah, like 3 years later, I think.
Mm.
I want to say that's right. But honestly, I don't mind King of the Railway. The the cool things it introduced, like Ryan said, like Steve in the castle, Sir
Yeah,
Robert
Steven's
Norby,
awesome.
kind of cool.
I really like, especially like, I don't know, something that's always like clicked in my brain is like the tracks leading up to the castle. Does that make any sense? Like
Like
for
the
me, for some reason, that's like so satisfying that when it goes up the mountain, like around that, like wraps around it.
Yeah, I love that. And I
That's
like how
like
there's like a mine up on the way up to the mountain too.
organs.
it's
That's
so
cool.
cool.
I like
It's a really
mines.
cool set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very cool location. I love Ulfstead Castle.
I think if you focus the story more on, also, I really think it's kind of like, isn't there like a betraying Stephen plot in the movie, right? Like
What do you mean?
Thomas messes up and like they don't like him or something. Or
Mm,
is that am I thinking of something else?
I don't think that's real.
Okay,
I
yeah, that's
can't
just my mind.
remember because there's a couple different plots going on.
Yeah.
There's like one with Gordon and Spencer. There's like one about Steven. And then there's like I don't remember what Thomas is up to in the movie. I can't even remember what his plot was. Yeah, I haven't seen King of the Railway in quite a while.
It happens. But I think, you know, that's all I can really say about King of the Rail when we have great right here.
Oh,
JBS.
JBS.
I love JBS. It's borderline my favorite if I don't think that there's something objectively better than JBS.
Oh, that's a take. I'm not sure if I agree, but like I don't mind JBS. Like it has its stinker moments, but but there's some decent
I
stuff in there
really
too.
don't think its stinker moments are even that bad that it really takes away from
Yeah,
Oh no,
I
there's been worse. I'm just saying like comparative to like the last the
I
few that came before it is what I mean.
I I I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a hot take to say that you like JBS, although I feel like the movie's actually quite good. I feel like for a Thomas movie, it takes a lot of risks and does a lot of new things, which is something that the Thomas brand never really likes to do. Which is kind of why like movies like Calling the Legends are low key boring, because it's just kind of like oh the same old shit. JBS is an interesting movie. I feel like it's good. It's written. Yeah,
It's written
I
fine
don't
enough.
know. It's written pretty well. It's it's I don't know. It's a pretty good movie, I feel like it gets too much hate, definitely. Um and I feel like it's definitely 100% up there for um I think it should definitely be near the top on this tier list for sure, is what
Hmm.
I'm trying to say.
See,
Yeah, it goes in great for me. I just almost died on water. Water almost took my
Damn.
life. It's getting
oh.
dangerous these days.
See, I don't know if this is just like old fandom brain rot talking, but like I don't know. I don't have any strong feelings on this. I thought I would, but I just
I think
don't.
a lot of people had problems with the like the bouncing, but I really don't.
Yeah, I
It,
mean, but
it's kind
yeah.
of subtle. It's not like a good change, but yeah, I don't think like it's not like a distracting change for me. I wish
Mhm.
it was just more consistent throughout the movie.
I
Yeah,
feel as though the bouncing wasn't actually that bad in this movie, but it got worse later on.
It got a lot worse when they started like jumping tracks and stuff like that.
yeah.
What did they do that in the CGI series?
I mean, for like derailments, kind of.
Yeah, but I think in JBS, I feel like it legitimately becomes more rigorous in the animation because the trains have faces and they can drive themselves. I can buy the idea that they can move around a little bit on their chassis. Like
Mhm.
in the classic series, Skarloey breaks a spring and he's all tilted to one side. Like surely they could maybe do that a little bit, at least a little bit. But I think I specifically noticed, like back when it happened in the Big World movie, when it got to a point where it was just ridiculously like over the top.
Mhm.
And I don't know, but JBS doesn't necessarily have that problem. I feel like the bouncing's actually all right in that movie. Maybe that's a hot take, but I don't know. That's what I think.
Yeah, my main thing is I think that the musical numbers in this movie especially are so fire, and I think that just like the overall plot of just like going to the mainland is like it getting like trapped there is like is one of the best things that they did in any of these specials, and especially like the newer characters. I'm a really big fan of. I really like Hurricane. I don't like that Frankie just like starts like bawling her eyes out at the very end.
No, that's
'Cause
cringe.
Frankie's evil.
Yeah, she's the mastermind of this whole thing.
She's the whole reason. And then the kind of it's kind of like a weak payoff because she just goes "Ooh, ah," and then everything's okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the biggest problem I have with the movie is is specifically that scene where that happens. And I'm just like, really, this is like
But then
really.
it's completely redeemed by what did I miss?
What? That's a really, really funny ending line
What
on the
did I
story.
miss?
And it
Yeah,
opens with a really cool scene of Henry going to Vickerstown, right? That's from JBS.
That is that,
yeah,
that
yeah,
he
yeah.
almost gets fucking killed. That's
That's
a cool crash.
that's probably one of the best opening scenes out of any of these specials.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that argument.
So I really think it really sets the mood of the
Mhm.
whole special. I don't know. I like it. I think it's fun. And I think the next one's also fun,
Which is? Oh,
but
yeah,
it's
all right.
fun. But it's fun though. See,
So
that's the
this is
thing.
the one that I've watched recently.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Say it ain't
It's
so.
written. So, okay, I'm gonna tell you about my favorite scene in this movie. So, there's a scene, about halfway through, where it cuts from like a scene on Misty Island back to Sodor, and it's Gordon pulling up to the waste dump, and he's got the Fat Controller on board. And Gordon pulls up, and he looks at Whiff, and the Fat Controller walks down, and I can't remember exactly what he says, but he says like he says Thomas is lost. We must find him. He's like Whiff. You will work with Gordon. You will hurry and scurry. He will heave and haul. And then the scene ends and it goes back to Misty Island.
Fuck yeah,
And it's
dude.
like this
Let's go.
movie is fucking brain rot. This movie is like written with Sharon Miller was fucking half asleep when she wrote the script for this movie. Like for real. It's actually so abysmally bad. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It's daily written like Thomas like brain rot, and it's awesome, and I love it.
No,
I
here
love all the terminology they use.
there is one good line in this whole movie. It's like the top like Topham finds Thomas or whatever. He says, "I can always get another hat, but I can't get another Thomas. I don't care. That's heat." That's a good line.
Yeah, Sharon Miller woke up for a little bit. She had to go pee.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
out of her coma.
She woke up, wrote a heater, and then went back to bed.
I I think I don't know. It's not in this special where they lift Birdie onto Misty Island, but I just want to say that that's my favorite thing that's ever come out of the show.
That is a
Is when they
really
drop and
funny
they
scene.
drop him right on the rickety bridge or whatever.
Bro, the Shake Bridge, my
The
fucking
shake
goat,
bridge.
dude.
Okay, but you say that, but it had like the most fire track master set.
Oh no, no, the merch from this
Okay.
is like really, really good.
The one thing about Misty Island is that the actual location is really good. As a kid, I loved it. I loved Misty Island. It looks cool. The toys are awesome. That's the one. Misty Island isn't entirely bad, and Bash and Dash are pretty whatever. But I like Ferdinand's design. He's cool. I wish he had an actual character and didn't just say "That's right."
Yeah, it wasn't just a dipshit.
That's right.
There's actually a character in the movie that says, "And I'm Ferdinand," and then he says that's right 17 times. Somebody was paid to come into a recording booth and say, "And I'm Ferdinand," and then that's right 17 different times, and then he left, and he got paid for that, and he was in a movie because of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
dude,
awesome.
Ridiculous.
that's his iconic catchphrase. You know Ratatouille, that like the Ratatouille ripoff?
Hmm.
Like where Mike Pollock says precisely a bunch. That's just fucking Ferdinand, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, come on.
All right.
Ridiculous. Bad movie.
A lot of my favorite things of Misty Island are not actually in this movie. I really like when they return to Misty Island, like the next season, because those episodes are just so bad.
Yeah,
Like they're some of the worst that has ever been made.
it's true. I remember when I was like a little baby child. How old would I be? Holy shit! What year did this come out? 2011.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck. That was 10.
I'm so old. Oh
That was
my
10.
god.
That was 10 years ago. I was like 11 or something.
Wait, no, was this 10?
No, yeah, this
Yeah.
was 2010. So I was. Oh wait, no, I wasn't 11. That's crazy. I was fucking five. I was like 5 or 6 when this came out.
Hmm.
And I remember really, really liking the one where like uh Den and Dart or whatever went to Misty Island to find a tree or something. But primarily just for like the one scene where Norman and Paxton showed up for a second.
That's good.
Because like I don't know, I like Norman and Paxton, who are big characters in the
Yeah,
next
and you love
movie
Misty
here.
Island, so.
I do love Misty Island. No.
Oh, they are
Uh,
big characters in the next movie.
yeah, that's true.
So I'm really kind of torn on Day of the Diesels because like the concepts it has are really, really strong, but it's also really, really like weak as a film.
Mhm.
It's so weird because it had a lot of hype. Like people thought it was going to be so good, and then the movie was just like it was such nothing. It was like busy work. Like there's a whole plot about the fact that they lost Flynn's hose, and nobody knows where it is. And it's like, really, this is what the movie's about?
They could have
Isn't
bought
this
a new
supposed to be
hose.
about like the diesels and the steam engines having a big fucking war or some shit?
Yeah.
I do think the part where they like come together to go storm the diesel or the steamworks is so hype.
I remember
It's
even thinking it was lame as a kid how the big climax of the movie is just the Fat Controller showing up and telling off Diesel 10.
He yells at him, dude.
Especially because I didn't
he
quite
gets told off.
understand. I didn't quite understand the fact that the Fat Controller had authority over Diesel 10, like in the movie up until that point.
He can just like
I
pick him
found
up
it.
and
I don't
throw him.
know.
And he has a
I don't know.
claw.
I don't know what you could write as like a better ending, but that feels underwhelming.
I,
Thomas biffs and bash Diesel's 10 into the buffers. And then it's over. And then it ends.
wait, was that not the first time the Diesel 10 and Sir Topham had like interacted?
Maybe a
It
better
is.
ending would be Thomas goes over a bridge and then the bridge starts falling apart and Diesel 10 follows him and falls off of it.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah,
dude.
that would be pretty good.
That would
I
be pretty
wonder. Wait,
interesting.
has that been like used before ever?
I guess we'll have to find out, I guess.
Okay, so David
But
Diesel, I'd put in Loki ass.
yeah, it's not super good. I like Diesel 10's introductory scene, and I like when they're like leaving the Diesel Works. I thought that was like I don't know what the terminology is for like CG stuff, but I'm just gonna say cinematography. I thought that was like shot pretty well.
Yeah.
I like that low angle shot of all of them like going past the camera and then going through the tunnel and stuff. That was kind of neat.
Okay.
That's really about it.
I think that's all we can say about David Does It.
Uh,
Whoa. Whoa. Day of the Diesels.
Whoa!
Day of the Diesels. When we have the goat coming up next. Blue Mountain Mystery. This is so fire. I don't know who it was that wrote this, but they cooked.
That was
It
Sharon
was
and
it was
Andrew.
it was Sharon Miller, but Andrew Brenner edited the script a lot.
Okay, well that's probably why it's decent.
Yeah. See, I don't
I think
remember it
I
that
can
much.
drop this.
Give me one
I
moment,
would
guys.
I would drop this to good, but I would put it in great.
Mhm.
But if I drop to good, we could. I think that it's really strong because it's a fun new place that's introduced. And you have all of these new little characters that just returned. They all look great. The renders look amazing. They're some of the
They do
best
look really
renders
good.
ever. And I think it's really strong.
Oh, I'm yawning. Heavens me. Yeah, I can agree with that to an extent. I say to an extent because I haven't seen it in years. I'm gonna continue to say that throughout this, but like all the stuff that I do remember is very very strong. Like I liked that for one thing. That I mean, this was just a status quo shift for the rest of the series. I like that Annie and Clarabelle talk and have character now. That's awesome. That was like a thing that was introduced in this. Um, I think like Luke as a concept is really really cool. Just having a little secret up there, and then having him be so closely tied to Victor, which bringing like actually giving more characterization to Victor is really really cool. Or
Yeah.
excuse me, giving backstory. That rocks. And then like JT said, like all the new renders made for the narrow gauge stuff are like they're awesome. Like including the all the rolling stock stuff because they have like the Tallylin freaking transfer wagon in there. They have the open coaches in the background. That's crazy. That's bananas.
Yeah,
Like the modern open coaches,
I
not
think
the Ada Jane and Mabel's.
I think the song as well slaps. I think you have to have a good song if you're gonna be a special. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's like
Yeah,
song
this
just
one.
that good. Day of the Diesel song is not amazing. Misty on Rescue is like hillbilly. King of the
This
Railway
one
is alright.
I haven't watched in a very long time, but I think it's pretty good. I remember as a kid I saw it in the theaters, and the only really major thought I had about it was where's Duke and Duncan? That's pretty much it. Um,
Yeah, where is Duncan? That's a really good question. And well, they didn't make Duncan because what's his name was
Douglas is
not
being restored.
Douglas wasn't being restored whenever they came to take measurements for the renders.
Yeah.
yeah, that's unfortunate. Um, but the movie's pretty good. It's probably the best Miller one.
Oh no, it easily is the best Miller one. Let's not get it twisted here. I mean,
Mm,
it's not my favorite thing ever, but I can it has a lot of merit. It's got a lot of heart. I can rock with it. I feel like good is like a pretty good or great. Either great or good. I it could be swayed either way.
yeah.
I think I think it's like you mentioned Luke. I think Luke's a really cool concept. The
Mm.
whole thing where Victor is the engine, which I mean you can kind of tell it's Victor, but like it's still really cool when like how like the paint looks different. He was like a green engine.
Yeah, the Victor Law drop is crazy.
Like it's bananas. See, I want to know like I mean they probably weren't thinking about this, but I want to know what year like all that took place in.
Mm.
Luke knocked him into the sea, killed him. He thinks he killed a man.
Exactly. He thinks he killed the Cuban man right after like he arrived to his new home.
Yeah. But Blue Mountain Mystery is cool.
Yeah.
But Hero of the Rails is also cool. So where do you okay,
Mm.
I'm a little torn on this one. I don't know whether to put it in good or like great as well. Because I'm very
I don't
nostalgic.
know.
I
I
think
feel like
I'd go with good.
good is probably the best spot for it.
Yeah.
I'm
Because here's the thing
very
about it. It's
nostalgic for this
like the
movie.
best thing about this movie is Hero himself, I feel like.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if it wasn't for the pretty strong characters in it, like I like the Victor in the Steamworks is such a great addition, and like Hero is such a good character, and Spencer being the villain is so great. But aside from those things, it's kind of just like it's kind of just like some hit error slop, if I'm being totally honest. I don't know. It doesn't particularly tickle my fancy that much, especially because the island of Sodor is like a liminal space the whole time. Like they go
Yeah,
to Farquhar Quarry and it's just like nothing is there. It's all just like grey rock. It's just nothing
what
anywhere.
was
There's no engines.
the first versions? I bet a lot of like the modeling or like set making went straight into the Steamworks because that was like the big marketed thing with like the toy, which the best Trackmaster set ever made is the Spin and Fix.
Oh, the spin and fix. Yeah, man. I really want to get the spin and fix.
I
I would
have the
kill for
Spin and
that.
Fix. It's awesome.
Oh,
I
can I
got
buy it off of you,
Maybe someday.
please?
I got it on a train show for $20. It
Damn.
was the full it
What?
was the full set, yeah.
That's crazy good.
And like the Tomy set, but I sold the Tomy set that I got because I don't have any of my Tomy track anymore.
The Tommy set. Which one?
It was like it was the Steam Along Thomas set.
Oh,
The only cool
yeah.
part of it is the Thomas. Everything is just a normal set besides that.
Oh, yeah, you got like the boring one. Yeah, I remember now.
Lame.
There's two
Um,
different versions of that set. One of them's good and one of them
yeah,
isn't really.
yeah, I got the boring one.
Unfortunate.
But
Unfortunate.
I really like, especially in this special, how like menacing Spencer is for like no reason. Like Spencer is so evil.
Not even he doesn't even really have that much of motivation. He's just kind of pissed off that Thomas is like mugging him off a little bit. He's just a hater, and I kind of love it. I love Spencer.
It is good. I do like this one. A lot of nostalgia with it for me, so that's why it's so it's that good for me. And I'd be fine with putting it great, but I think good. I think good matches this tier list.
I agree. I need to watch it again. I specifically remember selling my DVD at a yard sale, and I kind of regret that.
Oh, dude. I think I have like 3 DVDs of Hero of the Rails. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn.
Like I think I have 3 of them because I know I have 2, and I think I got another one on a road trip one time. So,
That's funny.
all right, next
Oh, hoo. Hello, goat.
we
Sword
have
Wars
the
Legends
best
of
one they
Washington
ever
Last
made,
Treasure.
and everyone agrees it's the best one they ever made.
It is. This is one of the 2 that I've seen recently. I watched it for the 80th. It's so good, dude. I'm sorry that you can't deny that this is a fucking heater.
Villa
Haters gonna
John,
hate, but this is
They're gonna hate.
definitely
awesome,
it.
and I
It's
think
literally a Thomas movie that takes place entirely on Duck's branch line with like the miniature engines and Donald and Douglas and like come on.
it's insane. It's
Come
actually
on.
insane. And the final thing where they bring the ship into the harbor, dude,
Yeah.
so peak.
That is one of the best, at the very least, CGI Tom's moments.
And then
It
the
definitely
ship,
has
everything
flaws,
with the ship,
100%.
like it going over the Gordon's Hill is so cool. And then like the final like little like it's almost like a little duel between Sailor John and Thomas, kind of
Sure.
at the very end when he gets like and then it leads him to get stuck in the sea.
It's definitely hard to do like genuinely like tense things with like the Thomas franchise in movies. Like it's hard for there to be real stakes. But when Sailor John pulled out like the dynamite and lit it, I was like, "Oh my god, Thomas is for real gonna
He's gotta
die."
die.
They're gonna kill Thomas, dead ass.
Like those were the stakes in that moment, and it was like, "Oh my god."
And then when he like he dives in for the treasure.
Oh, dude, a very well executed shot.
Yeah, a really mature scene too
Very much
for a
so.
franchise like this. Um, just awesome. But I think there's not a lot more. I love Ryan too.
I like Ryan
Wait.
too. Oh, wait. The little purple tank engine, of course.
When I was
Um,
12 years old and I found out they were adding a train named Ryan to the show, I freaked the fuck out. I was like, "No fucking
that's
way."
probably the greatest day of your life.
It was up there for sure.
Bro, they're not adding Tyler's, they're not adding JT's, bro, but they're adding Ryan's.
I have a wooden railway thing with the JT on it, so I have
That
a
is
little.
true.
I have a wooden railway thing with my name on it, and it's official. So eat a bag
Mine's
of dick.
I
mine's
don't.
official.
Oh, I don't have any of
Officially,
those.
officially stupid.
Okay.
Whoa,
Okay.
hey,
Be
now
nice.
let's not get that ugly.
And do you know what I'm not gonna be nice about?
What?
What? Oh no, dude! The people on Twitter are gonna get really upset. But you're right. The movie sucks. I'm
It's
sorry.
not. It's not the best.
No, even
I
put
don't
it up.
remember
I
why I
don't know,
don't like
man.
it.
I would even put it
I
lower,
forgot it.
possibly.
You would put
Actually,
it
no,
even
no,
above
no.
that.
It's not worse than Day of the Diesels. It's not. I'm sorry. I tried to watch this movie with Ron Dog, our good friend Ron Dog, the other,
Friend,
like,
friend
no,
of the
not the
show.
other day, probably like a month ago. We got 40 minutes in, and I turned that shit off. It was so fucking boring. I'm sorry. I don't
It
even
rivals
remember really
Calling All
what
Engines for
happens.
boringness.
Like okay. Here's one good thing I will say about it. I like how they did the clay pits. I really do, because a lot of the time in Thomas, they'll just like change. They'll just change locations and kind of not really give an explanation. Like it'll just look different all of a sudden. But the way that they do the clay pits, it's still like the classic series clay pits. But then you go through a tunnel and there's like a whole new area out the back of it, and it's like that's nice. There's continuity for once in this show. They actually have consistent continuity. Thank God.
They just expanded. That's cool.
Hmm. I love the clay pits in it. And I love the avalanche scene at the end. It's pretty cool. And that's all of the nice things I think I can say. Sorry.
I really
Snowfest.
like Gator. Was he introduced in this one?
Yes,
And I really like the song. So
I like the
honestly,
song
it
too.
would be enough for me to bump it up to average. I think it's definitely better than Calling All Engines and Day of the Diesels.
Yeah, no,
But
I agree. I feel like it's a little bit too low. I think there's enough to compliment where it's like, yeah, it's fine.
yeah, I like the Bill and Ben return. I like. Wait, no, Bill and Ben do not return in this one, right?
They returned in 17.
Yeah, they weren't in the movie, but they put him in the series. Doesn't make
No,
a
no,
lot of
no,
sense.
no. It was in both. I thought it was. I just remembered. Um, it was crazy when the trailer came out and Oliver showed up for a second.
Oh
That
yeah.
was insane.
I,
Oh.
dude,
Also, the
I'll
fucking
be
cranky
so.
scene is insane.
The cranky scene is awesome, but going back to the Oliver thing briefly. I was so hyped. I got a screenshot of that and printed it out and put it on my wall.
It's
And that's real.
awesome. That's
That's
actually
real.
sick.
There's,
You know,
Did you
there's probably
actually?
yes, I did. Fucking when did this come out? What 2014 or whatever?
yeah.
So
Bro
I
needed a
was
framed picture.
no, I wasn't framed. I just like taped it. But I was what 9 or whatever.
Yeah. That's
No, it
actually
was
That's
it.
so
nine,
funny.
9. I was like 9 or 10. I
You
don't remember.
took the thing of like the worst render they ever made besides Duncan.
Well, no. See that because that was no, that was from the trailer. The first time we saw him, and at the time, to my little child brain, it was like, "Oh, that's awesome."
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I do like the middle song. I think let's be brave or whatever. That's horseshit. But I liked these like the little slow
No, no, no,
song
no,
in the
no, no,
middle.
no, 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 let's be brave.
I
I
shit. What was it?
I quite like
I
the
do
monsters
like
song.
I like the
I don't know,
monster
it's not
song,
amazing, but it's like it's
and
alright.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
I really like the actual Tale of the Brave. I don't think that really I think the most brave thing is when Cranky does the little I feel like for it being Tale of the Brave, there needs to be more. There needs to be more substance in everything. And the Cranky scene also comes literally out of nowhere and then like it just happens and then we move on. There's like nothing happens after it, right?
I mean, we see him get fixed later.
Yeah, but like they just drop the hardest scene of all time and then the movie just like
Yeah, no.
they don't
That
mention
scene
it.
is crazy. That scene is insane because it's literally like Thomas just shows up to the docks screaming that Percy's on the ship and he tells Cranky to stop him. And then all that stuff goes down. Only for Percy to not be there and Thomas just dips immediately after that.
Wouldn't Cranky know
He
that
shows
Percy
up,
wasn't on the
causes
ship?
all of this shit, and then immediately leaves.
Wouldn't
I
Cranky
think
know
that's
that he
quite
wasn't on the
funny.
ship?
No, well, it was because Thomas, I can't quite remember the plot. Thomas and James were going to go check the clay pits to see if Percy was there, but then Thomas got the idea that maybe he was going to the docks, so they split up. And then James goes to the clay pits and Thomas goes to the docks, but Percy was actually at the clay pits, which is why like James is there before Thomas is. I think that's
No.
what's going on. I don't fucking remember. I haven't seen it in a long time.
No, see, what I'm saying is wouldn't Cranky know that Percy wasn't on the ship?
I guess not.
Because like
But I mean,
that kind
Thomas
of I
shows
mean
up and just screams at him that he is, and he's like frantically like, "You got to stop it!" And Cranky just does it in a spur, in like a spur of the moment decision.
no, see what I'm saying is Cranky would have loaded Percy. Is my point.
Maybe Big Mickey did it.
Maybe he did. I
How
don't know,
could he
man.
not see, man?
Exactly. Like he could have just looked over. I don't know. I mean, it's hype scene, hype moments in Aura, but like, I don't know.
I really
It's
like when Big Mickey just appears.
yeah.
That
Hello.
makes me happy. Hello.
I like his hello. I like his big voice. I think it's funny. His big Mickey's big voice. It's fine. It's a fine movie. It's not one that I ever think about ultimately.
All right,
I
here's
I,
one
I
that I
like the.
do.
I have wait, but one last thing before we move on. I do like the last scene, or excuse me, I like the season 18 episode that connects directly into the movie with Toad and Gator. I think that's neat.
All right, this is a
Ooh.
divisive one because this is arguably my favorite, but
Ooh.
I would put it in great because I think that there is
I
one
get
thing
fucking
on here that is still better than it.
pieces. I just don't think it's that good.
Okay, but why? Explain why I don't think it's that good.
It's
I'm
just
curious.
not a better adaptation than the original
But
episodes.
it's not trying to be. That's the thing. It's trying to be just a, it's
Yeah,
trying to
but
be
like,
just a
why
little
would I
filler.
watch it?
It's
It's like
not.
fine. It's like I don't have a problem with it existing. I'm not like what I am with Big World, where I'm like, this is the worst movie ever. It's like a cute little thing, but
For
I
the
don't know.
anniversary.
I just never come back to it. I feel like there isn't much substance here. It's kind of just
The
whatever.
opening
It was
scene is
nice
so
for the
cool.
time, but it's not. I would never watch this over the classic episodes.
Mhm.
And then LBSC Thomas. And then I love all the
I don't
callbacks
really
throughout
love
the
that
whole thing.
LBSC Thomas is green. I know they did that for the toys, but it bothers me because it's just a random choice.
I think it looks better than well, Thomas would have been like lined black
He would have
in
been Line
real
Black.
life, but they already had a lined black James. So there was either to make him poop brown, which I don't think they wanted to do that, so they made him like a dark green, which
They
I'm
could have
completely
made like
fine with.
a nice LBSC Brown Thomas. That would have like looked nice. But I
It would have
get
looked
it
amazing.
It would
immediately
have had
because
more
it's
best
like,
bet.
oh, it's a brown color. Like people won't like it or look bad. So they're like, no, make him a nice bright color. So they just made him green.
I like it. I like this one. I really like all the callbacks. I think the stories all flow together really nicely in the way that they did it. I think the big Henry about Henry in the tunnel is that it like takes place before everything for some reason. Um, but Henry also not being in his old shape is another
It's
complaint. But I'm
weird.
completely fine with Henry being afraid of the rain because it actually serves to Thomas's character in the movie whenever he goes and helps him at the shed.
Yeah, they change
And
it completely
that is a
because
that's a CGI Henry thing though. That's not just a this movie thing.
yeah, but see, that's another reason why I don't like it. Like because yeah, that fits in the CGI show. I get what you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't like Henry having that character. It's not. I'm not sitting here like, oh, it's wrong. It's not the original episode. They read the book wrong or whatever. Like maybe it's a different interpretation, sure, but like I don't like it. Henry being literally scared is like that changes the story. If he's genuinely like so afraid of the rain that he can't come out, the Fat Controller's gonna wall him up in the tunnel. Really,
Yeah.
it makes more sense if he's being a dick,
No.
which is
Yeah, well,
what
he's
the
being
original
stubborn.
story was doing. Henry wasn't afraid of anything. He just didn't want to do it. He was
I
just like,
think
nah, not feeling it.
I think that scene where Thomas goes and helps Henry is like is one of my favorites out of this whole movie. Because then after that, it's like we go into the action and the um the runaway scene's awesome. I remember I had like an argument with somebody that complained about it, saying like, "Oh, it's unnecessary," but it's so cool.
It is pretty cool. I will give the movie that. Like, yeah, I They made it because they wanted the movie to have some sort of climax, and it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't like that in the story personally, but it's not. It's like fine. The seeing James actually crash is cool. Like actually getting to see that
Awesome.
scene, which is something we never ever got to see in the original story, is cool. And the actual crash scene is crazy.
It
You
is.
see like James's wheels fucking like you see them like snap off of the tracks, and you see all the gravel like scraping on his face, and it's like holy shit,
Yeah, he
it's
gets
like
messed
real.
up.
It's fucked up proper
James
style here.
James crazy eats shit in that scene, like crazy style. He's munging it down.
I don't know if I've mentioned like the opening scene from this yet, like the one where we like fly through
You
like
see
different
Gordon and
parts of
junk?
Sodor. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
that's kind of
That's
sick.
something they could have only done with CGI. I really like Adventure Begins, and I really love the poster for it, especially how he's Thomas coming out of the storybook, and it's like the first, or it's one of like the first illustrations. I think that's so cool.
Mhm. I mean, this is another one where looking back, it's a perfectly fine product for what it is. But that being said, when the 80th rolled around, I instinctually went for Lost Treasure instead of this. Is
Yeah,
what
that's
I'll
fair.
majorly say. Oh, I almost fucking made my microphone fall off. But it's all right. I like that they made the Breakdown Tane characters.
Name.
I like Tane. The Breakdown Tane. I like that they made the Breakdown Train characters. I like that Glenn gets introduced. That's kind of neat. And then
Yeah,
the Crash is sick.
Glenn is pretty cool.
But also, like, that's more of a season 20 thing than this. But like, whatever.
Mm.
Yeah, Glenn is pretty awesome.
It all right. You know.
I love the ending too, how it's with a really useful engine and he leaves Farquhar, like how it was in the show. And then he goes down the line, then we cut to the storybook.
That's kind of sick.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
that's a
I
great
think as
scene.
like an anniversary movie, because you gotta remember this is like the second special they made. They made two this year.
Mhm.
I think that it's perfectly fine and it does what it sets out to do.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I agree with that.
But in the next one
Ooh,
is
wait.
I know this is one of somebody's favorites in this.
Oh boy.
This is two of somebody's favorites, I think.
This
if
is
I'm not
not my
mistaken.
favorite. Um,
This is by far my favorite Thomas movie.
This is also by far my favorite Thomas movie. And we're talking about The
I
Great
think
Discovery.
I think it's very well written. I think Thomas is very in character in this movie.
dude, like the set making in this movie, I really love. I know, like I've talked about like posters throughout like this whole thing, but I think this is like the best logo they ever made for any like Thomas thing ever.
Mm.
That goes
Mhm.
so hard. The Great Discovery text.
It's
Hard
so
enough.
it's so nostalgic too.
Yeah, it's
And
very
the Action
nostalgic.
Canyon toy, bro. Oh my
Oh
god.
no, dude! Every time we're talking about nostalgia here. Every time that I went over to my cousin's house, without fail, this went on the TV.
It's so
Yeah,
heat.
man. The
Like, dude,
thrills,
it's so
the
so
action,
good.
the suspense. Sweet.
Sweet. Yo. Like
All new Thomas
the
with action camera.
action.
It comes with everything you see here. Batteries not included.
Come on,
Stainless,
Stanley.
sold separately.
Like that commercial for the Action Canyon set, like that is ingrained into my fucking head, dude.
Oh yeah, I can repeat the whole thing off by heart. I know it. I've seen that fucking commercial like 1,000 times.
It's
It's
so
so awesome.
I don't care. It's so good.
The toys that was
It's
from
the
this
best
is
thing ever
amazing.
created. It was like
Stanley
forged by
is
the
so
gods
cool.
in fire.
Stanley is really cool. I wish they actually did stuff with him.
But they did all that, but they couldn't include Stanley. He's sold separately.
Yeah,
So
that's
Yeah, he
true.
is. If it was like Stanley at Action Canyon, oh my gosh, but it wouldn't make sense. But like,
I honestly I think it would have been really cool if they had done an Action Canyon deluxe set, because Action Canyon's a cool set, but it's got all that space at the front that's just like straight
it's not a
track.
very good like train set. It's a really good like
Yeah,
action
I feel
set
like it
as
would have
a
been
train
really
set.
cool if they had like two Y switches and then just some double track and maybe like a station of Great Waterton Station there.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Like if they made like a Trackmaster Great Waterton Station, had it there, that would have really pulled the whole set together. That would have made it like the best set ever created.
Mm.
But yeah, oh well.
Speaking of, I want to talk about Great Waterton for a second. Phenomenal location. I think that's one of the best things excuse me, that is the best thing to come out of the hit era. Just Great Waterton as a place.
I love Great Waterton.
It's very, very
It's
cool.
so unfortunate that it didn't last like for more than one season in the show.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it stuck around. I wish Stanley stuck around, which I mean technically he did, but he never really spoke.
I think, especially with this special, it's different from everything else. I think it's almost more of a storybook than a lot of the other specials with like narration by Pierce Brosnan, which is hated on a little bit. But I actually don't mind him. I like the new recent reports that he like hated doing. I think was really funny, but
yeah.
I was so disappointed because I always defended his narration in this movie. I was always like, no, it's good. Like, I think it's all right. Which I still honestly do think. I think it's like, I think people don't like it because it sounds like he's talking incredibly softly, which I feel it's almost like ASMR. But I kind of like that. I kind of like the idea of like it being like a storybook read to a child in bed type shit.
And he has
I fuck with that.
suspenseful moments. Like he gets into it like a few times.
He does.
Like he's not just like super quiet the whole time.
I think another thing that adds to Pierce Brosnan's like narration for me, like this is something that's lasted my whole life. I'm a massive Mamma Mia head, so like having two of my favorite like things come out in the same year, 2008, which but both came out in 2008. And both including Pierce Brosnan, that kind of like that kind of puts a little extra soft spot into my heart with the special. I like it a lot.
The fact that it's such a good special and it manages to be one of the only ones with the models as well is like that just makes it so much better as well. Because this is pretty late into the hit era at this point, so it's like nearly at the end. It's like after season 11, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like they're on point at this point. I feel like a lot of the early hit era isn't quite. I feel like they haven't quite found their footing yet, and I feel like that shows a lot in Calling All Engines. But by the time they get to Great Discovery, they fucking knew what they were doing, and they really pulled out all the stops for that movie. They pulled out everyone. Literally, they pulled out all the characters. Like every single old character was in it.
Well, sure, we saw Terrence for a second. Goat.
Yeah, Terrence in a season 11 thing. Terrence was mentioned by name. Like, oh my god, and Bill and Ben, and Arthur. Like, dude.
Everyone is there. Everyone is there for the opening of the
JTizzle12's in like the background of a scene just for lols. Like it's crazy.
It's really funny that they made
a
bunch of stuff. Hornby made a bunch of stuff for the Great Discovery. They made the Awesome Thomas set, made all this stuff, but they couldn't make Stanley.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made Stanley's like station and Stanley's house, but they didn't make Stanley.
Imagine if they did make Stanley, how expensive that would be right now.
Oh my god, dude, that'd be ridiculous.
I just got Stepney, and that was a big one for me, and I only paid $300 for him.
For an old tooling terrier, shout out.
Yeah, but it happens. Actually, well, it's a better tooling. It's the best terrier tooling, actually. So.
Okay.
But the new Hornby ones are not the best.
Oh wait, yes, I agree with that.
And the Dapple ones have fireboxes. Besides that, it's not great.
Yeah. But that's whatever.
Okay, I'm kind of which one has his okay, going back to the special, which one it's Day of the Diesels that has his fireboxes on fire?
No, that was season 16. That was Fire.
Oh.
No, that was 15, wasn't it?
Fuck, was it? I don't know.
Is that the one where
all these seasons are the same.
Where the Diesel
I don't know.
Down?
No, the bit where it burns down is in Day of the Diesels.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, I got this.
Dude, all these things are the fucking same.
All right, great race. Not Great Discovery. Great Race would go good for me.
Trash.
You really think it is?
It's not that bad actually. I don't know. It's just kind of I feel like it's another pretty kind of nothing movie for me.
The average.
I have
It's
actually no thoughts on it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like I don't even. It just exists. I don't really like Ashima that much. She's whatever. Like, Shooting Star Gordon's cool. I remember hearing like before the movie came out that there was going to be a scene in The Great Race where Gordon's fucking boiler was going to explode, and I was like, "Holy shit, Gordon's going to die!" Like,
Is it
I
gonna
like it
die for
because
real?
because it was like with these all these Thomas movies, the fucking like busy books or whatever they were of them always came out like a month before the movie did, so we always knew the plot before the movie came out. And the busy book didn't show the scene, but it was like, yeah, Gordon's boiler explodes. And it's like, what do you mean his boiler explodes? But then in the movie, it's really like nothing.
I think
It's
it's
just
really
kind of like
funny
the
he
top
gets
of his boiler kind
streamlined.
of pops.
It's
No,
kind of
that is a
tough.
cool scene though, and I love that they called back to the song at the start of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the songs are pretty
The
good.
songs
Not
are
all of
great in
them.
this. I like them. I think they're all pretty good. I like the last song. I like streamlining. I like the Gordon version of streamlining.
Then Gordon gets fucking. I was scrolling Twitter and I saw a Great Race screenshot just now. That's funny.
So
Anyway,
full
I think are we all good
surprises.
with Great Race and
All the
average?
same,
Yeah,
I think. Oh, and we haven't talked about the bridge jump yet.
I don't care.
I don't
It's
care
whatever.
either.
I don't really give a
It's
fuck.
been so like hated on that I really don't think it's not good, but it's not
It's
bad.
true that it's like a cringe scene, but like, what are you gonna do?
It's
They
been out
wanted to
for
make a
several years.
toy. You know what else was a toy scene? The fucking Great Discovery Bridge scene. And like, I mean, that one's definitely executed better. There's no big fucking Hot Wheels jump, but it's the same deal. You know what I mean? This kind of stuff it just happens. It's like whatever. Who cares? Move
Yeah.
on. It's kind of a cool scene, a little bit. There's no way Thomas would have been able to get up that bridge, like
Oh
for
no,
real. He would not have been able to do that.
there's
No.
no way. There's no way any engine could do that.
They land perfectly on the next track.
Yeah, there's no chance he lands on the track. Not only gets up the bridge.
What
Come
are
on,
the
man.
other songs in this movie? It's the streamlining,
Full of
and
surprises.
it's Full of Surprises is a banger.
That is a
And
heater. I
and you
love
can
Diesel.
only be
You Can
you.
Only Be
The
Used
Sheena
also a
sings.
banger. Yeah,
Hmm.
this song. No, that song's a banger. Don't even act like it's not.
I mean,
I love all the different variants of Thomas that they show off in that scene.
I do like Birdie Thomas.
This
He's
is like
something.
merchandise of the movie. I'm not
It
thinking
is
about it.
merchandise in the movie, ain't it?
Flying Scotsman
It
could be
really
bigger.
is. There's even that one scene in the Steamworks where Thomas is talking about being repainted, and you see like the sudden flash of lightning bolts on him, and then they made that into a Trackmaster toy.
I think that the Great Race is better than King of the Railway and Tale of the Brave. I don't really like having it. We could either like have it at the top or good.
Mm, I
I
don't know if I'd
I'm
say I
I'm
like
sticking
it.
with, I'm sticking with average.
Okay, we can stick with average.
I will say one thing I really don't like about the movie is how underwhelming the final railway show is. Because it's called The Great Race, but then the race itself is like 2 minutes of the movie. And it's not even the main event. It's like there's a bunch of different events, but we don't see like the strength one. We only see like the very end of the beauty one, I guess, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Um,
Thomas wins the
and then we
shooting
see
one
and
or
then we see the
whatever.
race for like 2 seconds, and then we see the shunting competition, which is which is just like, how is this possible? How are they doing? How is there not collisions happening like everywhere instantly?
Because they're all athletes. They're all the greatest engines of all time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
but like no, but like no, but like this, the yard needs to be way bigger than it was in that scene. I know they were trying to base it off of a real location, but they should have just made the yard like gigantic.
I think all like realism is thrown out of this movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because there's no way none of those engines are stopping at time during the shunting thing, bro. I'm sorry.
I kind of
Physically,
like
that's
the
not
scene
possible.
where you see like the beginning of the strength competition, and then like later on, Henry comes back over to everyone, and and Percy's, I think it's Percy or maybe it's Philip, is like, "How'd you go, Henry?" And Henry's like, "I came fifth." And Phillips or Percy is like, he's like, "Oh, that's not bad. Fifth is pretty high up." And Henry's like, "There were only 5 competitors."
Yeah.
Henry's like a rebuilt Black Five. He should have like crushed that competition.
Well, he was up against Vinny.
Henry's a
That
big
is
motherfucker.
true. Vinny's kind of fucking scary.
Henry
I
does
don't
say,
think a
"That's
Black
my
Five would have
boy."
beat whatever engine Vinny is.
All right, now it's time for something. I don't think that Tapmar should be grouped up with all of these because it's theatrical. That's a pretty big difference.
That's true. It is the only like
It's
theatrical.
theatrical, but it manages to be worse than a lot of them. So
We're gonna
Uh,
add a row like in between calling on.
we're gonna add the Magic Railroad row.
We can. Do you want to put it above everything or below everything?
below, because if I'm being so honest, Magic Railroad is in my least favorite movies of all time. Just period.
Really?
Okay, Magic Railroad.
I fucking hate
It's
this
so
movie.
nostalgic for me. I can't
It
hate it.
is
I know. I
it is
know. I've
not for me.
watched Magic Railroad so many times in my lifetime, but when I went and saw this is my like number one story about this that I think is really funny. When I went and saw this in like theaters when it rolled back out when the Blu-ray came out. I don't know if y'all remember that.
I do.
Um,
I didn't see it though.
I sat down and watched it, and I'm watching it, and I dead ass forgot that Patch was in the movie because he just comes back. He comes back. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's in this movie. I forgot.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was watching someone run down the plot of this movie one time, and the only time they mention trains or anything directly related to the island of Sodor and the Thomas show is the bit where Thomas has to take Lily back through the magic buffers. That's like the only time that anything from Sodor actually does anything relevant to the plot in the entire movie, and that sucks. I have a lot
Yeah.
of very mixed and complicated feelings on Magic Railroad. I don't think it's a good movie, but I can't bring myself to hate it because it's so nostalgic and it's like the classic era of Thomas, so it looks really good. And
Oh, it looks fantastic.
Alec Baldwin and Michael Douglas, who does Junior, they do such a fucking good job. Like they're actually so good in the movie. They're so entertaining and I love watching them. I there's like there's a lot to love in the movie. Even though I would never ever say to somebody like, "Oh yeah, this is a really entertaining and good movie." This is a movie that like is just for me. It's a movie that I would never recommend to anybody to actually watch unless you're in the very specific
Oh
situation
my God.
that we are, where it's like it's nostalgic and it's kind of funny. It's like ironically funny to us, like you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Mm.
So I have a story about this. At my college, I'm a member of like our film watching club, right? Um, I brought it once sophomore year, like as a big, and like I wasn't able to go for most of the years because or most of the days because I had like a class. I took that class off. I pitched it once. I said this is a bad movie. We should watch it. And then somebody else, completely separate of me. I didn't really know this person at the time. Separately, brought it back week after week after week. And then the one week that I was like that I came back to do it, we like both pitched it, and that's when it won. And then I watched it in the theater with like a bunch of like non-Thomas people, and it was that was one of the best meetings of that club, and that's when I realized how much I fucking hated this movie.
I
With
think
like
Yeah,
I think it gets really
it's
funny
so
when you
not
eat the
good,
magic
and it's
carrot.
crazy because Britt Allcroft wanted it to be worse. Like if you watch the director's cut and the deleted scenes, they're all like bad.
it's
The
it
the
sucks
movie
so
the
hard.
movie that was released is the best possible version of that movie that they made.
Yeah.
And that's
Genuinely
really
insane.
unfortunate because even that version of the movie is awful. I remember for so many years like this mysterious director's cut that people just heard about and had never actually seen. Everybody like thought that it would be so much better and that it would actually be a good movie. But no, it was a director's cut for a reason.
It's just not good. I mean, I agree. Like the stuff with like All the Sodar stuff is pretty decent. I like Junior. That's it. I'm sorry, this shit it fucking stinks otherwise.
Junior is
Stinky.
pretty awesome. I really like the scene where again, a lot of these scenes, like the dialogue is like impressed like into my brain. I know I can like recite like half of this movie. Especially the Sodor scenes, but there's only like 20 minutes of Sodor scenes, which kind of sucks.
Not even.
But the Sodor scenes that are there are really cool. Like the scene where James gets pressed by Diesel 10 and Diesel 10 tries to actually kill him.
Mountain.
And then they're like, "Oh yeah, we have magic, whatever," and then they just like disappear away.
Yeah.
I think it is funny though that Junior hops on the windmill and goes around a bunch of times, and the windmill
Yeah.
it gets so windy out of nowhere
There's
that the windmill goes so
there's
fast
like
it catapults him onto Diesel 10.
there's
And
like a
then
B plot where Junior gets thrown off of the fucking windmill onto Diesel 10, and then Diesel 10 just pulls up on James and tries to kill him. And
he
Junior's like,
pulls up
James
on
the
James,
Brains, get us out of here. And
stops
that's it.
so suddenly that Junior goes flying right on top of James. Conveniently,
James!
Whistle isn't there, otherwise some bad things would have happened.
Would have gone up his butt.
Yeah.
James the Brains, get us out of here.
Then Diesel 10 tries to kill James, and they just teleport back, and then hi James, and then James just puffs away.
I don't know.
Although the hardest line in cinema ever is gotta be James the Brains, get us out of here. Like, that's
James the
insane. When
Brains.
was he ever fucking called James the Brains?
Then and never
What
again.
the fuck? Yeah, no, it's not alliteration. It's not like he's making a pun. He just says,
always just
James
so
the Brains,
smart.
get us out of here, and then
That's
they
just
and then they
right.
teleport away. That's the best fucking like, see you later. James the Brains, get us out of here.
James
Well,
the Brains.
I think with this whole tier list, I guess I'm pretty solid with these rankings. I think these are pretty good power rankings.
I reckon.
I think this is a pretty fair. Another thing I'll say about Tamer, I made a tweet recently about like a poster that about that poster goes so incredibly hard
That is a good poster. Like one of the
with the mail
theatrical ones.
train. Yeah, and then there's that, and it really like the movie's beautiful. The set making, all that kind of stuff is so cool.
I love how the sets look, but I hate that they didn't. I hate that they didn't just do it at Shepperton. I understand why they were trying to save money by doing it in like Canada, but if they had done it at Shepperton, they would have been able to fill the background with just all of the other characters. That's my biggest problem with how it looks in Magic Railroad, because there's only like 6 engines on Sodor, and they're always in the same place. And
Yeah,
it's
and then
like,
they just repainted Ari and Bert, right?
and there's also no, I don't think they did. Did they?
I thought you can see in Ari and Bert's cabs in one season, like the old paint from Splodge.
I don't remember. I've heard so many different things about what happened with Splodge. I always thought it was just they redid Ari and Bert and turned them into Splodge. But I've heard so many people be like, no, they were actually like recast and they used like Diesel chassis and like a new one or something. And it's like, I don't fucking know. I have
Actively,
no
this
idea what's going on.
actively is not true. You can see the hazard stripes under the paint.
Yeah, it's probably just that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I'm glad that the movie is fully restored too. And we don't have like bad quality of this movie, unlike the rest of the early seasons, because they will be stuck in that quality for forever,
Yeah. Lol.
which sucks. But you know what? It's
Yeah.
okay because it still looks good. But I don't know, guys. What do you guys think about this tier list, about our rankings? Do you guys like them? What was something that y'all would change? I don't think I'd change anything.
I
Except
don't
for
think I
me,
can
I
anything.
think I'd put Adventure Begins a little higher, but that's just because that's just like personally one of my favorites.
See, I mean, I think this is decent. I reckon this is a pretty stacked list. My dog is fucking crying down there, but like I like it.
Yeah, I think this is pretty good. I think this is yes, I think this is solid.
I like I really like going back and thinking about all these movies again. I really do like What Did I Miss?
What did I miss?
That-
Yeah.
That's a really funny line.
Can we
The
end the
funny thing is
podcast
one of these
with a
movies.
clip of Henry saying "What did I miss"?
Oh, of course,
Can
naturally.
we end the podcast on a James the Brains get us out of here?
Can we also end it on Birdie being dropped into Misty Island?
How are we gonna do that?
Well, no,
Bertie dropping onto
we
Misty
do like a
Island. He's
little
like,
remix mashup. Like
they got to
as
do a
Birdie's getting
Fortnite, dude.
dropped.
Dude, they need to do a Fortnite map where the battle bus is Birdie, and then the island you drop on is Sodor, and Misty Island you can drop at
Yes.
Misty Island.
Yes, Misty Island's like its own location on the map. There's also like
That would be fucking crazy. That would be such a such a good collaboration. Come on, Mattel, make it happen.
There's like Fucky Farquaad
Fuck you, Farquaad.
and I don't
Dastardly
know.
Dryor.
Dude.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Cocked Knapford. No.
Oh no, not
Uh-oh.
Knapford, man. Titty Tidmouth.
Fucking. Actually, no. I'm running that back. Cuck Kildane.
Ooh.
There we go.
Mm.
Also saying.
But Kildane's with a K.
Yeah.
And what?
Dude, there'd always be good loot at the
Kildane,
iron
baby.
rights, for real.
They be thinking of banger Fortnite names.
They do be. On God, I'm on mama.
Healy Godred.
Oh,
Peely. Can they do like a Thomas Peely?
That'd be
shit.
awesome.
They need to do this. Mattel, make this happen, dude. Fortnite
Everyone
isn't
play
Fortnite
Fortnite if
adding
this
like
happened.
collaboration cars. Imagine if you could get fucking Jack.
Or Birdie. Or just
John Mattel,
Thomas.
come on.
Imagine if you could get Terrence.
Oh, fuck. Okay, now I'm here. I'm there.
Imagine,
Dude, you could drive
imagine if they
Terrence
added
around,
Terrence
like,
the
Sodor.
tractor to Fortnite as like a car. That
That'd
would
be
be
sick
so
as hell.
insane. You can get the mods on him with like the guns and shit. Oh, it would be over. It would be cooked.
Dude,
Everyone would
the
be
train
dead.
that like drives around the map is Gordon with the Express.
Oh.
Yeah. That's such an obvious collab too, right there.
I'm surprised they didn't do like Thomas.
Remember when they added the train line for the first time, and there's like a little bit where it goes past a windmill, and there were legit a bunch of Thomas fans that were like, I think this might be a reference. They might be adding Thomas to it. And it's like, yeah, man, a windmill
think-
next to the track.
And then that was 2 years ago.
That's never happened before.
I think a Thomas collab and Fortnite would be revolutionary because it'd be the first
it'd be
collab that
fire.
no one would play.
Yeah.
It'd be the
yeah,
first
it
thing
would
that they
be.
dropped that no one would ever play. They would actively.
They're like,
Oh yeah, nobody would be playing that shit, but it would be cool to us.
It would be awesome. It would make me happy.
It'd make me groan for like 3 days, and then I wouldn't play for another month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
happens.
would be that. They're never doing that. That's pipe dreams, but like, maybe one day.
I think they should do it in the style. I also made a tweet about the old PS2 game that got canceled, or PlayStation 1 game. The old Thomas one.
Yeah.
They should do it in the style of that, and that would go so crazy hard.
That'd be really funny.
That would be cool, man.
Yeah, that'd be my vote. And then they also have Peter Griffin in it, but that's like normal Fortnite. But
Yeah.
you have to play as Peter Griffin. They got the fat controller, and he
Oh!
can be ripped like Peter in Fortnite.
Yeah, like Peter in his iconic suit there.
Yeah, they could do
Yeah,
it like
the
how
black
they do.
suit. That's him. That's the fat controller dog.
That is, bro. Fat controller's butt chin.
Dude, he's butt.
Well, yeah. Good tier list. And I think that's about it for this episode of 2.5 Trucks.
Yeah, we got a little distracted at the end.
We
didn't
did,
we?
but
We're gonna
yeah,
talk about
that's okay.
Fortnite.
That's
You'll be
Fortnite's
right.
awesome, though. But yeah, with that, I've been Ty Happy.
I've been JTizzle12.
And I've been Mr. Slowly.
And we'll see you guys in another few months.
Yeah,
Bye.
when we manage to team up again. Goodbye.
The bridge made the flatbed jiggle and joggle. And Bertie the bus rolled off.
What did I miss?